Thank you again. I'm going to get right into it. We're going to start off with our WB boosters, Stacy Rayful and Jen Gately, and I just want to say a huge thank you to both of them and to the WB boosters for all they do, for all the fundraising they do. They help out in the athletic department so much, and we could not be who we are or do what we do without them. So please give a big round of applause to Jen Gately and Stacy Rayful. Couple of our Wildcats.
There we go.
Good evening, welcome. My name is Stacy and this is Jen Gately. We are co-presidents this year for the WB Boosters, and we have two new officers that are joining us this year is Linda Hume as treasurer and Terry Kierton as secretary. So we're so excited to have some new blood in the officer chairs with us. So we are a group of parents that run this volunteer organization that helps support our school athletic program. We meet at the school at 7 p.m., usually on the second Wednesday of each month in the Learning Commons, with the exception of our first meeting this year, which is going to be on a Tuesday on September 13th, because there is an evening varsity soccer game that night. So we wanted everybody to be able to go see their kids play. So, next slide.
Sure.
Okay. Oh, I did that one. Sorry.
No problem.
So at these meetings, we cover a few things. We collaborate on fundraising ideas. We form committees to help involve other parents with our fundraising ideas, and we decide how to use the funds we raise to benefit our athletes. We would love for you to come and join us and bring new ideas to the group. There's a table outside the auditorium. We're selling some of our merchandise, and there's also a sign-up sheet there if you can leave your contact information and email address. And there's also a column there if you want to volunteer for bingo, which we will get into later on. If you can't come to the meetings, at least if we have your contact information, you'll be notified and be kept updated of upcoming events and things that are going on with our organization. On the screen, we have a list of some of the accomplishments we've had in the past. One of our biggest events we host each year is our athletic awards banquet. In this event, we honor our varsity athletes with certificates, plaques, and varsity jackets. These items are all paid for by boosters, and the banquet costs boosters about $15,000 a year, so which is why we really focus on fundraising. We have many fundraising events throughout the year, and to tell you more about them is Jen Gately.
Thanks. Okay, so I just want to give you a little bit of information about some of our main fundraisers. We'll start with our car wash, which is our first one this year, coming up on Saturday, September 24th from 12 to 3. This is one of those fundraisers that students can actually get involved in, and they can get service hours if they come down and help out. There should be some sign-up sheets going into the office so the students can sign up there. And our chairs for that event are Laura McGrath and Christy Fuller, so if you have any questions, you can reach out to them. Our next big fundraiser will be our comedy night. That will be Saturday, November 5th. This will be our third comedy night. Our chair for that is Jen Morash. If you have any questions, you can certainly reach out to her. Like I said, this is our third comedy night. It's a lot of fun. They give us different comedians every year, so it's always a new show. If you can't come and attend the event, another way that you can help support the boosters is to be a sponsor or donate a raffle item for this event. The Snack Shack. So the Boosters does run the Snack Shack. You see us at the football games and in the spring at the track events. We sell your typical concessions, pizza, hot dogs, candy, and that type of thing. This year we did partner, or this past year we partnered with a local business, Gigi's. They were phenomenal. They donated pizza for all of our games, and we were able to really, do well with that partnership. So We will be looking to establish another community partnership this year. This is another way that students can volunteer. They can get Okay, our annual golf classic, this is our second biggest fundraiser. This year it will be held in June. This will be the second year that we were able to move it to a date that is after school gets out, which is really nice because we were able to get administrators and coaches and staff and students to participate. You can see Mrs. Page up there. She has a nice form. Yeah. Yeah. She is. It's a lot of fun. It's been the last couple years the Monday after Father's Day weekend. And this is another event that it takes a lot of volunteers. And if you're not a golfer, you can also help us with this event by either volunteering or, again, we look for sponsors and raffle donations for this event as well. On your way in, you saw our merchandise table, or maybe you saw our merchandise table. This is another way we do make a little bit of money. If you didn't see it, check it out on your way out. On the merchandise table, we also have a sign-up sheet. And if you put down your email, you can be included in our regularly sent out notifications, so you'll be aware of events that are coming up. Just giving us your email doesn't mean you're committing to volunteering or being a part of the group. It's just a way for us, a way for you to get information. Uh-oh.
I don't know
Did
what
I
happened.
hit something? Well, I can keep going while we're trying to figure out the screen.
It'll come back on in a few minutes.
Okay. So anyways.
Mention Zoom, but we don't have a
Yeah.
screen for that.
So sign up, it doesn't commit you to anything, it's just a way for you to stay notified. If you do sign up though, you can get a free lanyard on your way out. I know that's, really motivating, but. Another fundraiser that we're going to be trying this year, that I just wanted to quickly mention, we don't really have all the details on it yet, but we're going to be doing a fitness type of fundraiser, and Lynn Calling is someone we're working with on doing that. It will be Zumba, for those of you that like to Zumba. More details forthcoming. Okay, and then last but not least is our biggest fundraiser, which is bingo. I wish you could see the slide for this because we have a nice picture of Mr. Bodwell and Mrs. Page up there in their keynote aprons. So bingo has not been running for the last couple of years because of COVID. So it actually is starting back up on September 8th. So now we're scrambling for volunteers because this is a lot of, it takes a lot of volunteers to keep this program running, but it's a huge source of income for us, funding for us. It's once a week, Thursday nights. It's a 2-hour commitment from 6 to 8. We partner you up with somebody so you can sign up with a friend. The more people we get to sign up, obviously the less rotations that you have. And then all you really need to do is walk around the bingo hall for 2 hours, selling what we call pull tab tickets. If you don't know what those are, that's fine. I didn't know what they were either until I started volunteering. They sell them 25 cents, 50 cents, $1, and then you're just making change. Super easy. It's not bad. If you can commit to 10 Thursday nights, because it runs the entire year, we are working with the school to get a discount on the athletic fee this year. So I can't tell you how much it will be yet because we haven't quite worked out those details, but there will be some sort of discount as an incentive to sign up. Stacy's our chairperson for bingo. So if you have any questions, you can see her afterwards. And did I forget anything about bingo?
No, you're good.
No?
And there's also a column on the sign-up sheet outside.
Yes, on the sign-up sheet outside, there's a
want bingo.
specific column for bingo.
Lovely picture.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
There we go. All right. I think that's it. this is my last slide. So basically, okay. How can you help? Come to our monthly meetings, share fundraising ideas, sign up outside at the table so that you can get the emails. You can follow us on Facebook or Instagram. We also added Twitter last year. Shout out to Terry O'Neill-Carton, who runs those for us. Check out our website. Many people don't know that we have a website. You can get to it through the school website. There's a link under athletics, or purchase our logo merchandise, and feel free to email us at any time with questions. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I will email this presentation out, so if you, you'll be able to go through it. Hopefully the screen won't go off again. But thank you guys, that's awesome. Thank you so much. They do so much and certainly are very appreciative. So next we have our athletic trainer, Audra Roberts. And Audra is, I am so fortunate and so lucky to have Audra in my office. I mean, she spends numerous hours with your kids and does a super, super job. She has to make some tough decisions sometimes, so please be kind. But again, I couldn't do what I do without her, so Audra Roberts.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. If you don't know me, I'm Audra. I'm the athletic trainer. This is my 5th year at West Bridgewater, 6 years in the field. I graduated in 2017. My athletic training room is down at the end of the hallway past the gym. If you need to send your kids my way, if you have any questions, door 5 is an easy access point. Easiest way to get in contact with me is through my email, constantly checking it. And then this is a phone number. It goes direct to voicemail, but I can give you a call back, or you can call the school and get my extension from there. All right, so a couple things. I know this is kind of geared towards your kids, but so that if they ever come to you with any concerns or questions about injuries or anything like that, you can send them my way. So anytime they get hurt in a sport, if they get hurt in gym class or outside of school and you want them to check in before practice or a game, send them my way. Something very important that I want to address is allergies and asthma. If your kids need EpiPens or inhalers, they must bring them with them to practices and games. They're the ones that are going to have control of them. The nurse leaves at 2:30, I believe. The card issues that result from having COVID. This year, we are going to omit that. If a student has COVID, I ideally want them to come check in with me the first day they return back to sports, just so we can chat about what to look out for if they have any concerns, and so I can keep an eye on them for the next couple of days. If you're concerned about your child returning to sports following COVID, see your primary care doctor and have them cleared if that makes you more comfortable. Okay, stuff for hydration and nutrition. Kids need to eat carbs, protein, and fats. Carbs are what the athletes need for their energy during the sport. Proteins for recovery and growth, and the healthy fats are what they need for long-term energy. They need to properly fuel their body before sports, because I've already had it happen several times during preseason where an athlete doesn't eat breakfast or they don't eat lunch. They come, it's hot out, they're not hydrated, and then they end up throwing up. Something I'm very good at managing at this point, but it's not fun. So making sure that your kids are eating, give them opportunities to have snacks, something to bring to practice with them. illegal substances negatively impact yes, they are illegal, but they also negatively impact the way your body functions and how you perform in sports. Kids should be eating something familiar, low fat and low fiber that's easily digestible before a game, and following games, something with protein and carbs to replace everything that they lost during the sport. Sweating equals fluid and nutrient loss, so we need to replace that. Again, with the heat that we've been having this preseason, a lot of kids are dehydrated and overheating, so we just need to stay on top of them to keep them hydrated throughout the day and not just trying to chug a bottle of water before practice, because that's not going to hydrate them. And sports drinks can be useful for muscle cramps and exercising in extreme heat. Okay, concussions. This image is a pretty perfect way to describe how a brain injury happens. Regardless of if they're wearing a helmet or not, the brain moves inside the skull, it bounces off the walls, and can cause damage. All right. So, signs and symptoms to look out for with your kids if they come home following a head injury. Headache, pressure in head, neck pain, nausea and vomiting, dizziness, blurry vision, balance problems, sensitivity to noise or light, trouble concentrating, memory issues, academic problems, and a lot of times kids can experience irritability or sadness or more anxiety than normal, so keep an eye out for those as well. And they're not going to experience every single symptom. Some of them won't even have a headache, but they'll be experiencing some of the pressure or dizziness, so it's always better to be safe than sorry. If they all athletes are required to report their head injuries to their coach. If they're not seen, it can become a long-term issue. The tough it out mentality does not apply. Getting your bell rung is technically considered a head injury, can result in a concussion. There's no minor concussion. Tackling form, which coaches are very good about here, being educated about the dangers of concussions, talking to myself, a coach, the athletic director, parents, teammates. If you are worried about your child or somebody else on the team, it's always better to be safe than sorry. And if you miss a few games, if they miss a few games because of a head injury, it's better than missing the whole season if they get a second impact. Okay, so if they sustain a head injury during a practice or a game, they must be pulled. That is Massachusetts law. They must be pulled from practice or game immediately and cannot return that day. If I'm available or if it's a home game, then I will evaluate them on the field. If it's an away game, they can see that if they have an athletic trainer there, they can be evaluated. If not, check in with me when they get home. They're required to have a medical clearance form and authorization form. And if the head injury results in a concussion, there is a 5-day return to play protocol once the doctor clears them. All right, doctor clearance notes. This is just an all-encompassing. Every athlete that goes to a doctor for illness, injury, or any other reason needs to bring a note back to return to sports. You can hand it in to me, hand it in to the nurse during the school day. This also includes like orthodontic and dental work. Just better safe than sorry. Get a note that says they're cleared to no restrictions, so we don't have any concerns about whether or not they are allowed to return. Once they're cleared by the doctor, I go into their functional return, making sure that yes, the doctor says they're cleared, but making sure that their fit body is physically ready to handle returning to sport. Majority of the time they are, but sometimes the doctor says, sit out for 1 week and you're good to go. And it's not necessarily true. So safety and health is a priority. Cleared does not mean ready. And an athlete needs to demonstrate that they're functionally proficient before they get back on the field. Make sure that I'm aware and coaches are aware of injury or illness, and make sure that the note has a date to return to play, not just as tolerated, because we can't accept that. All right, that's my spiel.
Nice.
Thank you.
Great job.
Again, thank you so much for Audra. She, honestly, she spends tireless hours, a ton of time, I mean, with your kids, and she does a phenomenal job. So thank you, Audra. I know. One more. We can give her lots of round of applause. I like it. So just to go back quickly, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Jen Hamill. I'm the athletic director here at West Bridgewater, the middle senior high school. I want to welcome everybody. Certainly great to see some families back, and always welcome our new families. A little bit about me. Graduated from UConn, played field hockey, got my BA from UConn. I have a master's in athletic administration. And I have 3 children that play sports as well and are still playing sports. So I certainly can relate to, you know, a lot of what parents, students, what they go through on a daily basis. So certainly I'm appreciative of your time, what you do for your kids, getting them here. I know how much time parents spend to do that. So I just wanted to go switch through them. So no, I'm just kidding. So some of the topics we're going to cover tonight, these are just reminders. These seems to be topics that come up throughout the year, so I'm hoping that it kind of clarifies some things. Certainly, I'm always available. You can email me. My information's on our athletic website, or you can call the school and get through to me that way too. So absolutely. So I just want to, our coaching staff, we have some here. I don't have all of them here tonight, but I have some behind you. I am going to just mention their names. They can give a wave if they're here, whatever they want to do, dance around, all good. But we have our football coach, our head coach, Justin Kogler, our golf coach, Mike Antonio. Nick Campagna is our JV coach. Michelle DeCastro, Kyla Daly, co-coach for our varsity girls soccer. JV girls soccer, Emily Quinn. Hi, people. We have our varsity boys soccer. We'd like to welcome Mark Alessandri, and we have our JV boys soccer coach, Sam Rafel. We'd certainly like to welcome. They're new this year. Welcome to West Bridgewater. Loving having you. Varsity field hockey, Bill Flynn. JV field hockey, Jamie Martin. Boys and girls cross country, Jason Sylvain. He has his counterpart, Bob Rule. Varsity volleyball, Karen Pennington. JV volleyball, Ellie Roberts. Fall and winter cheer, Caitlin Pennington and Gina Romano. Again, I will share this with everyone, so you'll have all this information. Varsity boys basketball, Mike Antonio. JV boys basketball, to be determined. Freshman boys basketball, Steve Reddington. Boys middle school basketball, George Sylvester. Varsity girls, to be determined. Girls JV, Bob Sebastian. Girls middle school basketball, Jasmine Adams. Boys indoor track, Don Allison. Girls indoor track, Sarah Smith. Boys and girls assistant indoor track, Bob Rule. Gymnastics is a co-op with BR, that's Stephen Cudworth, and then we have 2 ice hockey co-ops. Boys is Mike DeRico, and girls is Martin Carabin. They are not here tonight, but we will see them soon for sure. Finally, we have varsity baseball, Jack Outerbridge, JV baseball, Nick Campagna, varsity softball, Mike Hyde, JV softball, Sarah DeLuca, varsity boys track and field, spring track and field, John Pike. To be determined for the assistant. Varsity girls track and field in the spring, Kyla Daly. Michelle DeCastro is her assistant. Boys tennis, Mike Antonio. Girls tennis, Steve Reddington. And then we have unified middle school basketball, Nicole Maloney, and unified spring track, Nicole Maloney. So again, thank you to our coaches. You guys, they work tirelessly as well. Hours with your children, and again, I'm so appreciative of their time. So as we get started, these are just, again, reminders. These are up on our athletic website too. We have our WB Student Athletic Code that is on there. Read through it. A lot of questions come up all the time. That could help you answer some, important things on there to review. Our code of conduct, risk of participation in athletics, spectator code of conduct, that is new this year, which I will be going over. The academic requirements, please stay in touch with your kids and their academics. It is so important. I hear music. And so as we get through, we're going to be coming midway through, progress reports are going to come out, then we're going to get, our first term, list of grades. So please keep on top of it. It's so high. I hate to have someone come to my door and they said, oh, I didn't know. And so just trying to make be aware, be aware, be aware, because that affects their ability to participate in athletics. As MIAA policies are in there, and then also rules to receive athletic awards, that's in there too, so I get a lot of questions, so hopefully that, if you have questions, start there, and then if you don't get the answer, come find me. Communication with coaches, in that resolution process. I know it's so hard. You see your kids out there and you don't want them to fail, you want them to be playing, and sometimes it doesn't work out that way. I understand. I would say give it the 24-hour rule if you're concerned, just take some time, and give it the 24-hour rule. If you're truly feeling like, this is just something I need to really talk about, we have kind of our chain of command, the way we would like the process to take place. And certainly, first and foremost, athlete and coach. Encourage your student athlete to go talk to their coach and work on that communication. Our coaches are great, very open. Most of them are teachers here in the building, so they're very easy to talk to. Again, if that's not resolved, you can do athlete coach, athletic director, and then so on and so forth. If you're welcome to accompany them. If you truly feel as though your child is, maybe isn't able to go through that process on their own, you are always welcome to join them. But certainly, we want our student athletes to speak up for themselves, advocate for themselves, and like I said, our coaches are really great. Playing time, it's a tough one. I know, like I said, everybody wants their child to play, but that's really coach's decision. And again, like I said, if as time goes on and you're struggling with decisions or, not comfortable with something, then talk to the coach or have your child talk to the coach. Like I said, what can affect playing time? It's attendance, effort, attitude, commitment, athletic skill. Coaches decide starters, positions, playing time. They see your students every day, every practice, every game. Although our coaches strive to get everyone into games at the high school level, there may be games where everyone does not play. And no parent or guardian is permitted to discuss playing time with coaches. Please encourage your child to talk with your coach. Physicals. I'm just repeating what Audra said because physicals comes up quite often in our office. If you can please keep track of them, help us help you to help keep your child on the field. We need an updated physical within 13 months of the date you get the physical. So once that date is gone, your child cannot participate in athletics. We will have to pull them and they will have to sit until that gets figured out. If it's during school, please give it to Mrs. Dietrichson, our nurse. Once 2 o'clock, 2:30 comes, Audra will take the physical. But like I said, if you can kind of keep an eye out of your physical date, we want it to be a seamless, process where your child never misses practicing or going to a game because of a sports physical. And also on the physical, we are looking for, the child is cleared to participate in activities, sports, and camps. And I can't look at a physical. I'm not a doctor. It's a liability issue. I can't take a physical and clear your child. So that's why please go through that process. Athletic website. Okay, we're still going. Good. I just wanted to kind of give you a little bit. This is a great resource. I pulled it up here. This is if you Google West Bridgewater Public Schools, this is what comes up. If you go over to schools and go down to the bottom, athletics is there. I need to update pictures, so bear with me. But there is a wealth of knowledge, great information on here. We have our athletic code. We have our registration. My registration's open the entire year, so you can sign up for a winter sport right now. Right now is great, too. Then it's not last minute. I had my flyer on there. That information is there. I also there's concussion information. I can't see the whole thing on here because my screen's smaller, but there is valuable information there. I also I have a coaches list. These will be, you can go right here when we start live streaming. Thank you to Mr. Smith, who's our TV studio, our public TV, which is awesome. He gets to a lot of the games. So here's the link. You can use this. I will double check with him to see when those games are going to be live streamed. I also have, so this is my athletic schedule. It's going to be a lot. Be aware. Unless Ms. Pennington? Anything? Oh, no, here it is, sorry guys. So, hopefully this is fine, yes. So this is my most up-to-date schedule. Yes, we have Arbiter Live, and it's fabulous. But this is a live document, this is on the website. You'll see when the bus departs, you can see if a game's been, postponed, when it's been postponed to. So this is a great resource to go to if you have questions. If you see something, email me. If you're like, that doesn't look right, email me, and I will give you the right answer. And again, go to your coaches first. That is super helpful. I'm gonna lose it, let me see. That's my athletic schedules, and I think I have Arbiter Live. Yeah, I have a link to Arbiter Live as well. And again, that's another link. Now, just be aware, schedules, they are subject to change. They are very fluid, so please, keep checking it. If you have a question, talk to your coach. Our fall schedule should be pretty much up to date. Please realize too, I'm not the only one inputting in this Arbiter Live. So it's myself, the AD from the other school, and my assigner. So some things can go awry sometimes, so that's why if you revert back to my main Google Sheet and then ask the question to the coach, hopefully, that will help. So that, I just wanted to just show that to you. Like I said, it's a great resource, and I try my best to keep it as updated as possible, but if you see something up there that doesn't look right, let me know. A couple other links, MIAA is on here, the Arbiter Live schedules, and then this is Arbiter Sports. Just so you know, this is what the MIA site looks like. And again, a lot of great information as we get into tournament play. Sport and tournaments, it's right there. You can click on that and you can see as they update, tournament information. So that's a great resource. I know I have this link on there too. So our registration used to be Family ID, and now it is Arbiter Sports. So Arbiter Sports has taken that over, as well as the scheduling. So this is where you go. This is the link. And again, this will be on the PowerPoint, and I will send this to you. This is where you can sign up. You just sign in, and then you go to the bottom one for Arbiter registration, and that's where you can sign up for sports. So follow me on Twitter. I do my very best to, I try to get to a lot of the games, and I will do my best to tweet out, as much as I can. I will tweet out schedules daily for games that are going on. So it's a great resource to follow, and as things come up, we post. Also check with your individual coaches, because they could have a Twitter account too. They're a great resource as well. Athletic eligibility, just kind of want to go through it so everyone's aware. Again, you need to be signed up in Arbiter Sports. You must have a physical exam, impact testing, which Audra will take care of that for us, and she will contact you when she's doing that. This year, I want to thank everybody so much. The fee was raised to $250, and a kind of a change was paying that fee up front. So everyone did a super job. Thank you so much. It just really helps us in the end. We're still chasing down fees from last year, and we're just trying to clean that up. So thank you so much. And if you have any questions about the user fee or anything else, or please don't hesitate to reach out. So this is new, not this piece, but I will get to it. Just talking about Spectator and the expectations at our home events, away events, wherever we are. As spectators, your role is so important, and that's supporting our athletes. And how do we do that? Couple ways, I do it with my own kids, tell them you love watching them play, cheer them on like crazy, like that is my motto, and as you'll see, I cheer them on. You're the spectator, you're not the coach, so we appreciate that, just support those kids out there, because they're working so hard, and our kids are the hardest on themselves. I find that with my own kids. And also, as a spectator, you're not an official. So we're having a tough time getting officials, and I certainly do my best to welcome officials here and want them to feel comfortable because, wow, it's really getting tougher and tougher, and some of our sub-varsity level games are not being covered. And it's something that, we're hoping changes and hopefully more. If you want to be an official, come find me. I'll find you a spot. If you have any experience or don't have experience, they need officials, so come find me and I will find a spot for you. And again, cheer them on like crazy. They work so hard all the time from, August 19th when our football and cheer started, and then August 22nd. They have been working so hard, and we're going to get started next week and couldn't be more proud. So this is new this year, and this is in our athletic code, spectator rules of conduct, that, spectators agree to abide by the following rules of conduct. So no insults or personal comments of any kind are to be directed towards game officials, referees, or workers. No inappropriate language or profanity, taunting, ridiculing of other team or team members not allowed. Spectators may not enter the court field of play during a game. If this happens, which I know it won't, but just in case, you will receive a verbal warning. And after that, a second offense, you will be asked to leave, and you will have to meet with Mrs. Page, our principal, and myself. So we're just asking, and I know it won't happen, you guys do a super job, but we're just trying to, get all the information out there. So enjoy the games, enjoy our Wildcats, cheer them on, they deserve it, and like I said, they work extremely hard. So a couple more of our important WB athletic policies to be aware of. Students must be in attendance at school by 7:45 a.m. in order to be eligible to attend, practice, or compete in a game. Sleeping in is not an excuse. Unless there is a doctor's appointment or something that is approved by our vice principal or our principal or myself, kids have to be here by 7:45 to practice or play or even go to practice on that day. If something's up, please notify the coach, ahead of time. If your athlete can't make practice or a game, the more we can get ahead of time, the easier it's going to go. And athletes are required to be at every practice and every game on time unless they're injured or ill. If injured or ill, as Audra said, you need a doctor's note to return to play. So, I just like to remind, our parents, practices are Monday through Friday, could be Saturday. Games can go 2 to 3 times a week. So it's a busy schedule that these kids lead. And, certainly balancing their academics and athletics, can be tough, but they do a super, super job of that. These are just a couple reminders on my end. Like I said, I'm here a lot, so I'm supervision, and, I can't be everywhere, and our coaches can't be everywhere. So kids can't be hanging around after school. It's a liability issue. So once the bell goes off, buses are gone, students are out the doors. If they're not playing a sport on my end, they need to be out of the building. Again, I can't supervise them, and it's a liability issue. So just asking for your help on that. Maybe they can go to Dunkin' Donuts, or I don't know what's around, but the library is great. But just need your help on that. No, not the library. No, not the library. Not the library. I meant book reading is what I meant. I meant they were reading books is what my mistake. And then just recognizing everyone's time. We recognize your time. Please recognize our coaches' times and our trainer, myself. After practice, please pick up your child on time. And after a game, communicate, hey, when are you coming back, so we can get everybody once they're back, and they can head home and we don't have people waiting around. I just like to say this as I talked about academic eligibility. As you can see, this is going to start happening as we kind of get into this first term. When the report cards are released, anyone failing 2 courses immediately become ineligible to continue the fall sport, and they become ineligible for winter, and then it goes on. Term 4, I just like to make people aware, it's not only the term 4 that fails 2 courses for the 4th quarter, it's also the final average. Then they would be ineligible. So at the end of the spring, when the kids are like, yeah, I'm out of school, done. But unfortunately, if they fail 2 courses in term 4, or on their final average, they will not be able to participate in fall. So that's why I asked, just keep track of your kids, keep them aware of their grades so we can avoid those situations. Transportation, the expectation is that kids ride to and from their games or events, meets on the bus. So unless there, is something unforeseen, or, there's a doctor's appointment or an orthodontist appointment or something along that way, those could be excused. But new to this year, because we are listening and we do hear you, and I understand, sometimes it can be hard. Athletes will be allowed one free pass per season to leave with a parent with no questions asked, but please let the coach know ahead of time, okay? So we do hear you. I do understand sometimes it can be hard, so we're trying to help with that. Transportation to off-campus practice sites is the responsibility of the individual athletes or parents. Exceptions to this policy must be requested in writing to the director of athletics, principal, assistant principal, by the student's parent or guardian the day before an athletic contest. So appreciate all your help with that. Communication is key. Just kind of going into the MIAA, the Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association, the rules and regulations, just a little bit about the MIAA. That's our governing body. That's who I have to follow for our rules when we have our student athletes participating in athletics. So mission of the MIAA is to serve our member schools and the maximum number of their students, providing leadership and support for the conduct of interscholastic athletics, which will enrich the educational experience of all participants. The MIAA will promote activities that provide lifelong and life quality learning experiences to the students while enhancing their achievement of educational goals. And that's just a link to the MIAA. Like I said, they have the MIAA handbook is on their website. They have a wealth of knowledge, so please be aware of it. Couple of topics I'm just going to cover are bona fide team member rule, chemical health, captain's practices. Again, these are things that kind of come up during the year, so this is why I want to just kind of a gentle reminder. The MIAA bona fide team member. Bona fide team member of the school team is a student who is regularly present for and actively participates in all team practices, tryouts, and competitions. Bona fide team members are precluded from missing a high school practice or competition in order to practice or compete with an out-of-school team, such as a club sports team. So your high school team is your priority. So sometimes we'll have buses, that are going home with, or used to, not anymore, just with a couple kids. And that's part of the process. That's part of being on a team, is taking the bus to and from an athletic event. It can be a lot of fun for the kids. So certainly, like I said, be aware, reach it out for your help. It's sometimes for sub-varsity, it could be 9 away games, or for varsity, it could be 10, 11, 12, depending on, tourney play. So be aware, and we could really use your help on following that. A little bit more about the bona fide team member, points of interest. It's kind of repetitive, but can't miss a practice competition for a non-school athletic activity. Like I said, students, commitment to the team. That's just what we're trying to create. Commitment to the team, that team mentality. All student athletes are expected to attend all games and practices. Like I said, something comes up, communicate with your coach ASAP. Missing team activity for another event can affect playing time, can lead to individual disciplinary actions, and then weekend practices honestly depends on the team, on the coach. So please find out, talk to your coach to find out what that schedule is. Chemical health rule. From the earliest fall practice date to the conclusion of the academic school year or final athletic event, this includes Saturdays and Sundays, a student shall not, regardless of the quantity, use, consume, possess, buy, sell, give away any beverages containing alcohol, tobacco product, including e-cigarettes, vape pens, marijuana, including synthetic, steroids, or any controlled substance. This policy includes products such as NA or near beer or inhalants. Unfortunately, when something like that happens, penalties occur to the student athlete, which that's what we're trying to avoid. So just so you're aware, if you know, they are caught with something along those lines, the first offense would be, you know, they'd miss 25% of the contests in that sport, and there are your numbers. Second offense is 60%. And then after that, it's the same, and then if there's a second offense with the dependency program, those are the numbers of games that would be missed. And those are things we want to avoid. We hate having to, like I said, pull kids off the field, or, you know, have to, or they can't play. But again, I'll share all this with you, and you will have this information. Captain's practices, I just like to talk about it. You know, this comes up all the time. Oh, Ms. Handler, we're having captain's practice. Oh, Ms. Handler. So it's not really, the term captain's practice usually means the team's captains organizing and conducting without adult supervision out-of-season practice for that sport. The MIAA does not in any way captain's practice, depending on the member school's involvement, may be a clear violation of the rule defining season limitations. While we do understand and encourage athletes to prepare for their preseason, any student-organized sessions are in no way associated with or endorsed by the school or coaches. So with that being said, we're kind of winding down. This is the application for school facilities. You know, if you want to use the school facilities, you know, fill out the form and you know, go through the process. I think, you know, when you have those captain's practices, there's no supervision. Again, that's a liability. It's a liability for us. So there's some information for renting our spaces. And I just want to wish everyone the best of luck. I truly love doing what I'm doing, and I'm so thankful, you know, for you allowing, you know, your students to be out there on the field with all of us. It's such a pleasure. I love seeing them through the hallways. My office is down at the end of the gym, and you know, your kids are awesome. So we are pretty lucky. So thanks so much for all your time, and for all you do too. And we look forward to a phenomenal year. And let's go Wildcats. So as we go out, here's some locations to meet coaches. Girls soccer is going to stay here in the auditorium. Boys soccer is the Learning Common or the library. Cross country, auditorium. Field hockey, cafeteria. Football gym, volleyball gym, cheerleading, cafeteria. We have unified middle school basketball and unified spring track. It's the Wildcat Den, but it's like when you come into the building, right